Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tarek. And everyone
Morning,
else.
guys.
Morning,
Hey,
Oliver.
Oliver.
Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. And Tarek, hopefully your winning streak continued on Friday.
Yeah, Friday was good, thankfully. So it wasn't as big as the other day,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, 450 can't complain. Things are good. And thank you guys for your help. Like, really, your support is highly appreciated.
Yeah, good. No, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're doing well, and yeah, that's fantastic that you're in here, and that I know that Avi's support has been fantastic, and unfortunately I wasn't able to be on Friday, but I saw that he's funded his account, and I'm sure things are going to start getting really interesting on his side. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and especially today, I can see he put on a lot of trades. And the market been amazing since it opened last night
Yeah.
for the futures. Yeah.
Yeah, and being in a different time zone absolutely helps. Being around when the Asian markets are open and when London is open. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, and I have found that it's for me it's just too volatile to trade pre-market. So I usually wait, and my setups appear as well. So it's great that there are opportunities for people in other time zones. So you're also in there, aren't you, Tarek?
Yeah, I'm in Dubai. Yeah.
You're in Dubai. Well, I hope you're keeping safe, and hopefully, everything gets.
Yeah, it's okay. It's very safe normally here. It's very extremely safe, and I think the media is just exaggerating what's going on.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's. I was at work today. Everyone's back in the office. Life is like very normal.
Yeah.
Except for the abrupt flight schedules.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I know, and I don't follow mainstream media. I get my information mostly online from reputable sources, people that are there, people like you and Avi, and that's where I prefer to get my my information. But when I say keep safe, I mean you're still in an area where stuff is obviously happening. So
It's a war zone.
things stabilize. Sorry.
Sorry to cut you, Gils.
Oh.
Yeah, it's understood. This word is understood. I'm just laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, so for this morning, with 12 minutes before the open, I'll repeat, this is educational information only. I've been doing this a long time, but I do not advise people on what to buy and sell. I never have. I just like sharing information of what I've learned over the years and what I look at. And one of the things I look at when I grab my phone in the morning, I look at futures. I look at oil futures. Yesterday, when the market opened at 6 p.m. Eastern, I couldn't believe how oil was soaring. And then I looked at it this morning, and it's pulled back from the open of the Sunday evening open. But stock futures are pointing lower as well. But have they found support? Because just right before jumping on here, I was just looking at all my tickers, and everything seems to have made a low, and it's coming back. But I mean, for me and my trading and how I like to be safe, I'm going to wait, especially being Monday morning. We don't know what the big players are planning on doing. Do they still have orders lower? Or do they want to? Are there sellers that want to push the market lower? So we'll see. We'll be patient. And then HIMS, not something I trade, but something I was looking at over the weekend that had a massive move, and apparently there's some type of deal that was made with Novo Nordisk, I believe they're called. As far as economic calendar, I don't see anything of significance for myself. And earnings before market open or after market close, again, I don't see anything that I find too significant. I believe HP, or one of the HP tickers, is reporting after market close. So I will go into TradingView and start looking at levels, and we'll go from there. Higher time frame. I'm on the 30-minute time frame. Things have been, let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. So this was a big area of consolidation on Apple. We broke out, then retested here, and then moved down. Big gap down this morning. We opened down at 253, but have been closing that gap. Right, so the market loves to close the gap. I mean, it's anytime you see a gap form within a few hours or a few days, usually that gap is closed. It's not all the time, but it happens often. So as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I'm looking at here is if it were to come back down and retest S4, possibly put in a double bottom for the trade long. As far as room to the left, over this area here, there is no room to the left. The market was just there on Friday. So for me, it would have to come back down here and retest. This might be the move. Right, we might have found the buyers that we needed here, but I personally don't trust it because it happened in pre-market. AMD, and you're going to see that a lot of my charts look similar. As far as room to the left, we had lots of room to the left. We definitely took out liquidity this morning. Was it enough to be able to take out stops from whoever had stops below here? I don't think so. Just because it happened in pre-market and there's not a lot of volume. I can show the volume here, which I don't use, right? There's no volume here. So that's why I don't trust it as far as a long right now. Same scenario as Apple. If it were to come back down here and find support, it might be a long. But again, Monday morning, I'm going to wait to see what the market does in the first half hour. Amazon 30-minute time frame, gap down, put in this long tail hammer, kangaroo tail, and is consolidating in this area. A lot of people are waiting to see what will happen at the open. As far as room to the left, if it were to come back down here, we have not been here in a while. So there is room to the left if we come and retest this area down here. As far as room to the left to the higher side, I don't see any other than closing this gap. This could be a close the gap type of rejection candle after the open here, and then for the move lower. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll talk about it if the opportunity presents itself. Google has been making lower highs and lower lows. Opened lower and put in a hammer as well. Let's zoom in here. Put in this long tail hammer again with no volume. If it were to come back down here eventually during the day and find support and find buyers at this low, and then prove it to me that the buyers are starting to step up and be in control, then this might be a long opportunity. A lot of people are looking at these levels for getting long as far as swing trades or even position trades for the longer term. We'll talk about it in Tesla over here. Right over here, a lot of people are seeing this as a discount. So let's go back to Meta. Meta, I had this range here that we tested a bunch of times. We look like we might be testing it again. I already have set up an alert in here for Meta. If we see a lot of buying here, this might be an opportunity to go long. Microsoft is one of the outliers that has been going up. It gapped down this morning. It did make a lower low beneath the low of last Thursday, but just touched it, wicked up, is closing that gap, and then it looks like it might be rejecting. So it'll be something to look at. As far as room to the left, there is some, if we take out liquidity down below here, because we have not been here in a few days. Difficult to read because it's going opposite of what everything else is doing. NVIDIA, I have an alert set at the lows here, because we did see a lot of buying once we touched these lows, this massive candle here. But now we're just retesting this area here. So will it come down here and find buyers again? That's what I'll be looking for. I already have an alert. It's a little bit high, actually. I think, right, sorry, a little bit low. I think I want it around 174, not under 174. And not necessarily as a trigger for a trade. That's where I'm going to start looking. Same thing with Tesla. Tesla found support over here. Look at this rectangle here. This is where we found support. This is where we put in a very big bullish candle. Came down and retested it again and then made new highs, but it's having trouble taking off above 500. Sorry, 400. At S4 over here, it could be finding support. It's another one that I'd be looking at the possibility of it coming down and wicking below S4 and then finding buyers. So longs right now are the only thing I'm seeing catching the reversal. However, it would have to be proven with some really strong buying. Qs, gap down, is finding buyers in the pre-market. I want to see what happens once the market opens. If you look left here, let's move some of these down because they're no longer useful. This is a prior low. Sorry, I thought that was an alert for a stock. Once we hit this low, we gapped up. So this is a possible level of support here on the Qs. And so I'd want to see what happens if we come and make a double bottom here, taking the first pre-market as the first bottom. And then what happens if we make a new low? I want to see, do buyers step in? SPY, similar situation. But with SPY, we've got to go way back to find some room to the left. It seems like it just wants to make new lows. Maybe we do need to come down to an area like this, right, where it was support, and then where did I just see that it was resistance? I had it over here that it's touching here and then chopped around here, touched here. You know, it's not the best of levels here, but I think that's where we need to come and touch before we find some buyers. And we might not, right? We might just continue to go down. So I'm not loving anything in the pre-market. I'm going to wait to see what happens after the market opens, and very likely to wait the first half hour. I don't know if there's anything on NQ or oil. Oil was the oil futures spiked up. Let's go over here. This was a massive spike from 6 p.m. Eastern yesterday, and then came down. Right? Are we going to close this gap before going back up again? Or are we going to find some stability in the Middle East and these might be coming back down? So I'm not I've always looked at oil futures. I've never looked at them to trade them. They're incredibly volatile. Anything can happen with any type of news. And they're very, very heavily leveraged. So I don't know if any of you futures traders trade oil, but it's and oftentimes when there's nothing happening, it just goes sideways, right? When there is, look at this. I mean, it's just going sideways between 62 and 66. And I know that there's money to be made because they're heavily leveraged. What is it? 1 penny equals $10. So a $1 move in the oil futures is $1,000 move per contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'll move it out of the way and start looking at my 10 tickers here. I've got my level 2 on SPY. That's always a really good indicator as far as the speed, and the market is open. So good luck to whoever trades at the open. My gap is being closed on Apple. Almost closed on Amazon. As far as being closed, I mean, I'm just looking at aftermarket levels on, see, we just wicked up over here, right, to close that gap. I don't like that it's happening so fast, but this is the kangaroo tail setup. Microsoft has closed the gap. AMD touching pre-market high, as well as yesterday or Friday low, switching PDC. There's that wick on Amazon as well. That's a very tempting candle on Amazon. Meta alert has triggered. This was a higher time frame possible area of support. And that rejection at the top here for scalpers, this would it's already down $4 from the highs here. So Wouldn't want to be a buyer at 257 here. This is where, this is why, see, this was setting up as a possible kangaroo tail short, but this is why I wait. You know, if we look at the 1 minute candle, there's no real, there's no signal there, but this was red a minute ago, right? So people thinking that, oh, it's going to go short, it's why I wait the 5 minutes, because right now it's not going to form a kangaroo tail short. Right, candle is closing now. There you go. We've got our first 5 minute candle. Indecision on Apple. Got a very somewhat of a bullish candle on AMD. Very bullish on Google. Indecision Meta. Indecision on SPY. Right, still difficult to tell. Like Avi's said many times, you want to know who's in control. And right now, we'd be guessing. If this signal here closes, if this candle here were to close near the tops here, and if it wasn't Monday morning, 6 minutes after the open, if it does close, I'll share what the signal would be. But it's very bullish if it does close at the highs here and makes a new high. Right, maybe I'll say it now. Bullish candle, and then a bullish trendy kangaroo tail. The trendy kangaroo is the one that goes with the trend, but this is way too early to call a trend. And the other thing that's difficult to go long here, right below PDC, which could be a very strong level of resistance. You want to see when there are no lines up here, and then there is room to the left where the market has not been there in a while. As far as Google is concerned, this is, for me, not a long. Meta is in that zone that I've drawn. Right, this zone right here, it's wicking into this zone, but it's still on the 30 minute here. Let's move it to the 5. Right, we don't see any buying yet, so there's no indication to go long here. Move these to the 5 now. Oops, Amazon 5, Google, Microsoft. NVIDIA on the 30. This is a very interesting candle on the 30 minute time frame. Right, wicking all the way up, closing the gap. Below 176, This could be coming down to the lows here. Let's put a level. Actually, let's get rid of this one. Put this here. I have an alert here. This would be a scalp on the 30-minute, but where do you put your stop? Your stop's got to be above here, right? So 178.40, entry at 176.20, and that's $2. You need it to go down $6 from here. You need it to go down all the way down lower than S6. It's possible, but there could be support over here because there was, right? There was in the past. As soon as we consolidated over here, we just closed this gap and started making new highs. What's happening with oil now that the market's open? Not much.
I don't like the idea that the MNQ and the ES, they're not able to close the gap to the towards the higher side. And this is most of the time, if they fail to close the gap, it's not a very positive sign for them.
Yeah. And it's still early, right? So I mean, they didn't close the gap in the first 5-10 minutes. Still early, but you're right. I mean, if there were buyers, they'd want to buy for the opportunity of closing the gap.
Yeah, and especially this is what happened, I think, on Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, something like that. We opened with a gap down, and they bought the gap back up.
Yeah, you must be talking about like the Qs or SPY, because
the MNQ, yeah, on March, first day of March, first day of the weekend, the NQ. And when we started US Open, they bought it back.
Yeah. This was the open on Monday, March 2nd, right? Gap down. That was last Sunday evening. And then as soon as the market opened, big bullish candle over here. But then hit this resistance here, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just chopping around. It doesn't seem to want to. People don't know. There's so much going on. Right? The market doesn't like not knowing different situations, worldwide situations. So when there's I'm having trouble finding the words when there's unknown in the market, people do not want to blindly just buy and take it higher.
Yeah, exactly. Gold is looking also weak on the bigger time frames. On the 30 minutes, the gold looks like it wants to break down to get back to 50-50. As a reverse ABCD from previously.
This was the open. So from Friday to Sunday, it opened pretty much at the same area, wicked up, and then came down. Yeah, just really choppy for me. I don't see anything, but what was I looking at earlier? I was talking about the candle. Oh yeah, the candle forming on Google. I did not close bullish. We could be finding support here, right? There was a lot of buying once we wicked down here. So these two lines here, which is pre-market high, as well as what is this? Pre-market high, and was it the low of Friday? Well, definitely an area of interest, right? Resistance pre-market, went above, started buying right at this level. So right where it is right now is interesting. We might find some buyers here. This is not necessarily one of my, it is a breakout and retest setup. I just don't like that there's no room to the left. There's a lot of resistance above. Our vol is fairly high, actually. I'm surprised. But a lot of red everywhere. Coin, oh, Bitcoin doing well. Oil, and for Spotify for some reason. Everything else on here is red. So I'll leave this to SPY. Like I said in pre-market, I would like to see if we chop around and then slowly make our way down to pre-market low. And then we might find some buyers here. And similar situation in SPY. That's what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to put Google on my secondary screen here. See what happens. $296.35. There you go. What's the spread on this? 10 cents, 5 cents. Yeah, if I were a scalper, I'd be looking at it, the possibility of breaking 296.80 here for the move to PDC. If it showed buying. Right now, it's just rejecting those highs. Still early, only Monday morning, a lot of time. Not quite sure what this was for, but move some of these lines here. There we go. Interesting area on Tesla. Could be finding buyers down here. And if we don't, it could just be making new lows. As of right now, we have not picked a direction. So, oops, Tesla, January. American Airlines down 6%. Can I remove here? Oh, you gotta, there we go. $523. There's the drop in Google. Area of support is not holding. Nor is it. There's a lot of buyers there. Be 4% of the ball. Just looking at Google here. There's definitely somebody defending at 295 area. If it wasn't, yeah, if it wasn't where it is right now, this right here, I'll put it on Trading View. On the 5-minute, this is really looking like a break and retest area. Go down to the 1-minute. We've put in a strong candle here, so I am not taking this, but what if? There, stop below the wicks. 3 would be before, before R3. We're pretty much at R3. Leave this here. I would have to close the gap. Again, not ideal for me, but just because of room to the left, the market was just there. But on the 5-minute, this is absolutely, if this were not here, the breakout and the retest here is very interesting. Right, that's what we want to see. We want to see a pullback. Be better on the 5-minute. If this 5-minute candle could close and then print a new high above 296.12. Right, we just touched it at 11. But let's see the orders. Right, it does look like it has a little bit more. Stellar is a higher, so could be bullish. Interesting candle forming on Tesla. $385. What does it do with $385? I want to see how this candle closes. I want to see what happens at 385. Do we really start buying above 385? It's at S6 on the cam levels. I could find some buyers here. this on the 5-minute on Google, and this put in another bearish candle. Even though it's green, it's not as bearish as the previous candle, but 296.11. Can we break above there? If so, I wouldn't be surprised seeing this going back to previous day close.
Above alert.
There, it just popped above. So does it continue? Or is that just a trap? Yeah. What does it do here? Okay, I'm long Tesla. Long Tesla here on the break. And we seem to be holding 385. We do seem to have found some buyers. Now, whether it works or not, who knows? This pattern in Google is something that I love to trade. I just didn't like where it was, but where is it on? Where was the target here? Target was at 299.50. 299.50. Set an alert for Google. Another nice pattern here on AMD. Don't like where it was, but big green candle, pull back to a pre-market level, and then continuation higher. We do see some buying going on. See if NVIDIA make a new higher. I say that, and as I say it, everything's starting to pull back. My stop on Tesla is below the wick. If it's taken out, it's -1R, and there it is. Yeah, didn't work. Why the triangles don't show up? There you go. Sorry about that.
Hey, Jill, good morning. You got stopped out on Tesla?
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of my signals here. It didn't close right at the top, but it seemed like it was making, finding some buyers above 385 here. Once it broke above 385 here, I took it long with my stop right below low of day. And there you go. That's -1R. My take profit would have been around high of day, 390, 350. So that's one that didn't work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to stop out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Always.
Yeah, every single trade I take, this is -1R. That's one of the things I love about this platform, is that there's no calculating. I just hit a key and boom, it calculates everything for me and sets my stop at -1. Yeah, it works very well.
Excellent.
I would love for that to be developed, and if it has, somebody can let me know, but for that to be developed on TradingView would be incredible. But I do have tools that I use to calculate position. Actually, we've got some time here. Maybe I'll explain here how the position sizing is done. How are you doing?
So far, so good. I took an earlier loss of a point, and I took a second trade on Oxy. I got in about 15 minutes into the market open at 55.04. There's a lot of room to the left. I'm holding my stop to around 54.70 right now. I really want to move it up to 54.90, but I just want to give it a little bit of room. But ideally, I would like to target, I got 56.60, 57.15, and the pre-market high 57.69. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this was last week. When was that? Last Monday. Wow, Oxy made quite the move, but just like crude oil futures last Monday, it opened up higher, but then it just tanked and came back down and closed a gap, and then gapped up again, and then came back down. So a lot of people shorting the tops here. Yeah, interesting. Hope it works out for you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I'm gonna have to actually jet to work pretty early this morning, about another 20 minutes. But just thought I'd stop in and say hello.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did. Yeah, thanks for sharing that on Oxy.
Yeah, just yeah, enjoying the weekend. Looking for we were kind of looking around for maybe for another place to live. We're not sure yet. Somewhere in the area, but otherwise, yeah, no, things are well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Our snow has finally started to melt quite a lot, so
Yeah.
that was a great bonus of the weekend. And today's supposed to be pretty warm, so I think we'll see most of our snow gone by the end of today or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It is. Yeah, not for the skiers, you know. I guess there's a lot of people that love the winter activities, but where we are, there's not a lot of skiing and there's not enough snow for snowmobiling or ice fishing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just makes for a long winter.
Yeah, no, I do remember those days. Yeah.
Yeah. I said I was going to bring this up here. Position sizing long. Let me bring this up here. So this is just an example I was using, but let's say on this Tesla trade here, 385.50 was the entry. So let's say it is a $5,000 account. Entry price was 385.50, and the stop loss was, let's say, 380. It was under 382.90, let's say. So 382.90. There you go. So it's saying that your risk per share is 260. So it says, well, buy 6 shares. It'll cost you 2,313. Your total risk is under 1R, because my R is calculated. The way that I teach it is to do a 1/3 of 1% for people that are learning. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So when you're learning, 1/3 of 1%, that way, if you get 3R, you've made 1% on your account, which is good. And then for advanced risk, you risk 1%. So everything's calculated. So the only things that you enter is your account size, the entry, and the stop loss. And this calculates that, you know, for your basic position. So the people that are the students, people that are learning, it says buy 6 shares and then put your stop loss at 382.90. And when you're stopped out, you will lose $15.60. Now, if you win and you hit your 3R, you're going to make 46.80. So it is 3 times your risk. So everything's calculated. Like on DOS, all of this is done automatically, but I actually suggest people to learn how to position size like that in TradingView or whatever the platform is, and then just stick to your rules. And then obviously, if you have a higher account, let's say it's $25,000 for the PBT rules in the States, then your risk would be $83. So how many shares? Well, it would be 32 shares. Your capital required would be 12,336. Your total risk would be 83. Actually, it's 83.33, but because of the amount of shares that you bought, it actually turns out to be 83.20, which is at or below 1R. And your possible 3R gain on your student shares, two different position sizing, right? Student or advanced student, whatever you want to say. And then over here, well, for the advanced, you're higher than your account size over here. But with margin, it's possible that you're able to buy these. So anyway, this is a tool that I use to help teach position sizing and risk control. Because at the end of the day, if you're okay losing 1R on a trade, then there's zero stress involved in this. Like I don't care that it was minus 1R. This was my setup. It's at a level. Tesla was at a level, and it was supported by being at a level on more than one time frame, because it is also at S6. So if it shows strength at S6, it is an area of possible buying. and it didn't work, so that's okay. It's setting up again over here. Tesla. Yeah, do I trust it? Because it's definitely setting up again. Or possible long over here. High of 297.24, 38. So that was the one I did not take. Profit was at 298.50, I believe. Google. No, sorry, 299.50 for 3 hour. Other than that, I'm not seeing much. I'm going to stay on here until 10:30, but I've got alerts set for spine queues to possibly find buyers at the pre-market low or just below pre-market low. So I'm going to be patient on that. There's definitely room to the left for buyers to possibly step in.
Come on. Lift. I want to see Oxy lift. Let's lift.
Let me bring it up here. I'm not looking at anything else.
Yeah, it's starting to lift now. So I think at this point on Oxy, I'm going to bring my stop to about 54.90, which is above VWAP. Just a little bit more. Let's see what happens.
What was your entry?
My entry was 55.04. It was back around about 15 minutes into the session. And I was keeping my stop at around 54.50.
Sorry, 55.04, right?
Yes, I got in sort of the break of the range, and I put my stop at about 55.50, the $0.50 amount, which is, I mean, it's not quite the full range, but I figured it should hold there. And now we're starting to get lift off. So hopefully soon I can bring my stop to break even. We'll see. But it's pretty tight at 54.90. I'm using the low of that big green candle at around 10 a.m. Eastern time. Because we had a nice surge in volume there, so I figured that level's got a hold. If it doesn't, I'm out. So 54.90 right now is my stop, but I'm just kind of keep on raising my stop.
Yeah, that's one strategy. Do you when you're looking at something like Oxy, do you look at what's going on with oil futures?
No, I didn't look at the oil futures, but it's in play, you know. So,
No, that's for sure.
let's see. I actually had USO on my charts earlier, but no, I wasn't looking at the futures. Do you see anything on your end?
No, just that it gapped up massively this morning, or sorry, yesterday at the open at 6 p.m. Eastern. Gapped up and then came down pre-market, NYSE pre-market, and now seems to be making higher. This is on the 5-minute time frame, so we touched down here and now made a new higher low. But this is so incredibly volatile because of what's going on in the Middle East, and it can change on a tweet.
Yeah,
It would absolutely affect Oxy and, pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I hear you. I saw
Yeah.
that last night. I logged in and I saw it gap up, and I thought, "Ooh, I'm gonna be checking out oil tomorrow." So that's all that I needed for my catalyst, really.
Yeah. And Oxy is pretty much the only thing that's green in the entire market right now,
Yeah.
up 2.5. But, where's it going to go? That's a nice big engulfing candle on the previous candle. Right. So on the 5-minute, that's a big engulfing candle right here. And we've made new highs.
Check out the 15-minute candle too. We've been green since opening bell, and right now we've got increasing volume, increasing body size of the candlestick. So I'm holding this for pre-market high. That's gonna be my target if I can at around 57.70 something.
Wow.
I'll just really try to focus on the 15-minute chart and let this thing run.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty confident right now. I'm going to bring my stop to break even. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Good trade.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Thank you.
What made you look at Oxy?
Just the fact that I was looking at the chart last night, and I saw that oil spiked up, and Oxy, USO, that meme of a stock, BATL. So I figured, well, I'll just kind of check it out in the morning and see. And I like that, like on the 15-minute chart, it was holding the SMA 200 level. We had 3 touch points. If you look at the 15-minute chart, so I figured, well, there's a lot of room to the left. So let me see if I can get in and
A lot of
ride
room
this
to the
up.
left from your entry?
Yeah. Just the whole chart. I mean, there's a lot of room to the left all the way up to 57.70.
You mean above the chart here? So I don't know if you're seeing my chart, but I've got the Oxy 15-minute over here. So you mean room to the left as far as the highs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's room
Okay.
that this can grow and hit those pre-market highs. So that's what I'm holding for.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
to the left there. Huh? Oh, I forgot. I've got an appointment.
Well, good seeing you, Jill. Thank you again for
Yeah.
handling the open session. I'm going to check out.
Yeah.
Finish some work.
Have a great day at work, and hopefully we'll see you later on this week. All right. Good
Okay,
luck on
take
that.
care.
Oxy. I'll be thinking of it. I've put it in as a sim trade in trading view, so I hope it hits upper targets.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Sure. I also put in that Tesla trade that I did not take on TradingView. Just something to look at tomorrow. There you go. That's the entry candle here. I actually like this one better because it actually dipped down below S6. The fact that I closed red doesn't really matter because the open and close are pretty much at the same spot. Open was 33 cents and the close was 29. So it's pretty much at the same level. This is a kangaroo tail. So entry on the break of the high, stop below the wick, and aim for 3R, risk to reward, which doesn't put it off the chart. We don't need to go up to 500. It's just, a little bit. It's even within the day's range. So we'll look at this tomorrow. With only a few minutes left, I think I'm going to set my alerts. I just realized I've got an appointment, so I'm going to cut out the next few minutes. I believe Avi said he was going to be on at noon. Let's just put this on here. I'll be on around noon. Yeah. So Avi will be here around noon Eastern. as far as I'm concerned right now, we're just chopping around sideways. The Google that I did not take, but that I put on TradingView, target was 299.50. So if we can make it up to just below 300 here, this one would have worked as the break and retest. Entry on the 1 minute candle, which I will describe tomorrow at the open. I will also share my trade that did not work here. And this is a category 2 trade. It's a trade that proper risk just didn't work. And you have to get used to being able to see this happen and have it not affect you. And that comes to position sizing, right? If I was in here with tens of thousands of dollars, then, you know, it would be stressful. You go in with the proper size as far as your account value is, and, you know, trades like that, because half of them are not going to work. I just use half as a number. It could be more, it could be less. But when your winners are more than your losers, you can make money doing this. So on that note, I will cut out. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to be back from my appointment to be in the room with when Avi's there a little bit later on. I'm curious to see what's going on with his trading. So for those of you that are still on here, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.